Let's hit go live. We are live. Okay. So now let's move to this. Hello, everybody. And it's your favorite host ever, Bigrich. That's right. We all know, Josh is okay, but y'all love Bigrich better. And we just want Josh to know this now, since he's not here. All right. Tonight it's Bigrich. We've got our buddy Hoover here who helps us out an awful lot. And we have the bearded fish keeper is on his way to read the super chats. So I have missed you guys. I have missed my Friday nights. I have been so sick. It has been crazy. So I am so happy to be back here with you guys. Now you're going to have to bear with me a little bit tonight. I'm going to have to read everything and see everything and talk about everything all at once. So, I'm used to Josh handling half the show or somebody else handling it. So we're gonna get through this. Let's do the Tracy update first. How about that?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do the word of the day?
We could do the word of the day.
What's the word of the day?
Fat man.
No, we can't be fat, man.
Oh, fatter man.
You got jokes over here. You guys come up with a word of the day, and as I'm talking the Tracy update, we'll pick it out of the comments. How about that? All right, so now there's the Tracy update. I miss her so much. She had to go to the hospital, and it was, 12 days ago now?
12 days ago, yeah.
She all of a sudden at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, she started getting a fever out of nowhere, and we couldn't figure it out. So, we tried, icing her. I put a pack under her neck. We put a pack under her back. We put an ice pack. We have them jelly packs, and we wrap them with a washcloth, put them under her arms, put them under her neck, stuff like that, between her legs, and try and bring her temperature down. And none of it was working. It kept getting higher. Well, it got up to 102.9. There was nothing we could do. We had to call the hospital. Tracy had to go in. Hang on a second, guys. Josh is calling. Hello, Josh. You're live on the stream. Okay, will do. Okay. Josh figured out a sound problem. We got that figured out. Thank you. I guess the patio background right there had sound on it, and it showed the outside sound, so we muted that. Now it should be easier to hear, guys. Thank you, Josh, for that. He's sick. Josh is home. He just got tested positive for COVID, so he's homesick, and we won't see him for probably 2 weeks. So anyways, back to Tracy. So she gets this terrible temperature. We can't, fix it. We gave her the Tylenol. We gave her the icing. There's nothing we can do. We call the hospital. The hospital takes her in, gives her a COVID test. It was a quick test, said she was negative. So, okay, Mara was there with her. Mara was there until midnight with her. The next day, Mara, the nurse, got sick. I got sick the next day, and I thought it was the flu since obviously Tracy tested negative for COVID, is what the hospital told us. So I thought it was the flu or pneumonia because they're giving her antibiotics for pneumonia. They couldn't figure out for the life of them why she has the fever. So they did all these testing, her sputum, her saliva, her blood testing, all this. Nothing came back positive. She was negative for everything. But she still had a temperature. So they couldn't figure out why. So they called in the infectious disease people and all this stuff. And this has been crazy. This is going on. Tracy's been in there for 12 days now. I'm going on the fact that she tested negative. So I'm telling everybody I'm negative because Tracy tested negative, and I don't leave this house. I'm here with Tracy, taking care of Tracy. People think, oh, you got a nurse, so, you're able to. No. The nurse comes here for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. I take care of Tracy the other 16 hours a day. And while the nurse is here, I get an hour and a half of sleep in the morning, and then I'm outside working, in the fish room, on the outside of the house, on the ponds, cleaning the house. I got dishes and laundry to take care of and all that kind of stuff. Plus the extra, then you've got the rescues and pickups and drop-offs and people coming, getting fish and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to deal with. So I lived the last year and a half with hardly no sleep. So when Tracy got tested negative, I'm like, I don't have COVID either, no problem. So it's been like 4 or 5 days go by and we hear from the nurse that she tested positive for COVID, Mara. So I call the hospital and I tell them that Tracy was exposed. You might want to retest her because they can't figure out why she has a fever. So they retest her and comes back positive this time. She has COVID. So my son Richie gets me a test and he drops it off at the front door and I take it and I tested positive. So, and, it was an instant positive too. Josh says it usually takes 10 minutes for it to show up on his test that he does. And this was instantaneous. As soon as I dripped the fluids on there, it said positive. So that would explain it. But now here's the weird part. I had a cough that was so bad, it felt like I had phlegm in my throat that I could not cough up, but I was coughing every 10 seconds. And I coughed so much that I had this horrendous headache for like a week that I was scared to cough again because my head hurt so bad. And it reminded me of when this happened to Tracy. This is the sickness that we had together when this first happened to Tracy. Before any of this COVID stuff came out, me and Tracy were sick and we had the same cough, but we were also weaker than anything else ever. I've never been sick to where I was so weak that I could not get up out of bed and walk around without having to go back to bed. So this reminded me of the sickness we had when me and Tracy first got sick. So now it turns out this is the same sickness, and me and Tracy we did have COVID back then, but there was no mention of it until Tracy was in the hospital for 3 months. Then COVID broke out and started bringing everything up, and I wasn't able to visit her no more. So that's how that happened. Now here's the breakdown of what happened to Tracy. Now, remember, she had the internal bleeding from somewheres in her esophagus. She had, they couldn't figure out where the blood was bleeding from, and they wouldn't go down because she had the tubes down her throat and all that. Well, to begin with, she was sick. I was sick. I took her to the hospital, and Cleveland Clinic said, we're not going to admit her. She has an upper respiratory infection. Here's 2 medications. She's getting sent home. And I'm like, my exact words were, no, she's like a puppy with parvo. I mean, you can't pick her up without her puking. This is the worst I've ever seen Tracy in my life. You have to admit her. And they're like, no, she's getting sent home. 2 days later is where she died. And I had to do the CPR on her and all that kind of stuff. And all that blood came out of her lungs. Let me back up a little bit. She was puking when she was sick. So I would take her to the bathroom and then I'd let her in the bathroom. I'd close the door and I'd wait outside the bathroom for her. She'd get done puking. She'd come out of the bathroom and say, I puked my brains out. And then I'd take her back to bed and take care of her, make sure she's covered up and warm and comfy and bring her some soup and all that kind of stuff while I was sick. But I wasn't puking. But the thing was, I didn't have an internal GI bleed. Tracy did, and now we know why. It was from the coughing ripped open her GI tract, and then she was bleeding internally. Now, here's the next thing that we figured out with the doctor. She was puking, but in the video, if you guys go back and it looks like a tragedy strikes, it shows Tracy saying, thank you for taking such good care of me. That was like almost the last words she said to me before she died. I told her, no problem taking care of you. Are you feeling any better than yesterday? And she said, yeah. And I asked her to tell me my name. And she said, Richard Price. And I'm like, well, that's a lot better because yesterday you didn't know my name. If you guys know Tracy's history with the narcolepsy, she's on that Provigil medicine. And when the hospital cold turkey stops her, she goes into a 3-month like a delusional period where she don't know me or the kids. And I had to take care of her many times because hospitals would stop her medicines when she went to the hospital for any reason. And they would never listen to me. And, you know, the doctor said, you cannot stop this medicine cold turkey. So here she's puking. So she's not retaining her narcolepsy medicine. She's puking it all back out. Boom, it makes sense now. She didn't know my name because she wasn't getting her narcolepsy medicine. Then when she's puking up blood, she wasn't telling me that she was puking blood. She was just telling me that she puked her brains out. So when she gets to the hospital after I did the CPR and medics got here like 11 minutes later, she had died, all this kind of stuff. She got to the hospital. She was a number 5 on the blood. So what that means is the first day she was there, they gave her 3 pints of blood. The second day she was there, they gave her 2 more pints. She was 5 pints low on blood. And that is why my compressions were not effective and didn't help that much for that 11 minutes until the medics got here and they put her on that machine, and it's a violent machine, and it was like crushing her whole rib cage. And they said that, they break ribs all the time with this machine. Well, that got her heartbeat back. I pushing as hard as I could and was doing these, 30 seconds of compressions and all that. It wasn't that effective because she did not have that much blood in her system. She had been puking it out. So now later on, we're understanding, everything's making sense now of what it was a terrible a series of events that were just not good. One after another, and this poor girl did not deserve all this that happened to her. So now she's in the hospital. She got tested positive. We tested me. I tested positive. Mara's positive. We stayed away from everybody. The doctor said 5 days you're infectious, and then 5 days wear a mask just in case. Well, this is the 12th day now. Josh got sick 2 days ago, and he was bearing with it, but today he got tested positive for COVID, so he is not going to be here for the next 2 weeks. He's going to stay at home. He's not going to work. He's pretty sick now. It made its way through to Josh. So I stayed here for 2 weeks. Josh was coming over here. I'd stay in my room. He'd worked in the fish room. He'd do my feeding for me. He'd take care of the things around here. He took out the garbage on Wednesday. I mean, he helped out, but he ended up getting sick. So now I walk around, anything I touch, I spray with the Lysol. I make sure that, nobody's using the main sink because I do the sink. I wash my hands in there all the time. So Hoover's using the spare sink so we don't cross-contaminate and all that kind of stuff. The doctor says I'm not contagious no more, but we're still taking...
I got kind of lucky. The fat guy and didn't get it. The fatter guy got it.
Oh no, you're the fatter guy.
I got
the fatter
lucky
guy.
and got away.
You're the fatter guy. So Tracy is now, for the last 2 days, has had no temperature. She's doing great. They won't release her yet because she's still got another day left of COVID medicine. I guess they gave her 200 milligrams the first day and then 4 days of 100 milligrams. She's got 1 day left of that. Then, she should be coming home pretty soon. It's been 12 days without Tracy. I have missed my little girl. I have slept more than I have slept in the last 2 years. I mean, for the first week and a half, I did not get out of bed except for to make it to the bathroom and then back to bed. That was it. I did not get out of bed and do anything. And for the last 3 or 4 days, I got up out of bed. I'd do a little bit of work. Half hour later, I'd have to go back to bed. Same thing. Every few times a day I'd do that. Today was the first time I have not gone back to bed today at all. Well, I'm doing a lot better. So I don't know. This COVID thing is no joke. It's no joke. I live my life like, yeah, I hear about it, but it ain't gonna happen to me. And here it's happened to us twice now. We did not know. We were before everybody else got COVID way back in the day, and that's what struck Tracy down. And because now I know the symptoms that were so familiar back then, I thought it was the flu, but I couldn't understand why I was so weak. I've never been sick where I was that weak before. And, now it all makes sense. So, all right. So we'll let you know when Tracy comes home. I've got her hospital room all ready for her. The nurses have been missing her. I've been missing her. I spray her perfume on my pillow, and I put a pillow here and I just hug it when I go to sleep at night. It's corny, but it helps me sleep. All right, so let's see if we got any super chats or anything I've missed. Oh, lots of talking going on here. Wish I had time to read it all, guys. Lots of support from lots of friends. Johnny Black says, Big Rich, holy cow, who is Josh? That's my son that's been helping me out over here. Josh says, I'll be all right. He's online. Hi, Joshy. That's my baby
Josh.
boy. Let me see. Oh, man, all kinds of talking going on. Oh, you missed there's a super chat you didn't see.
Yeah, I seen it.
All right, we got Pale Horse Rider for $9.99, and all he says is thank you. Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. That's going to help buy some food this week because Josh ain't coming by. I'm going to, go to the store tomorrow and get a bunch more because we're out of food. We're out of everything. I'm going to go get a bunch more shrimp and tilapia tomorrow, and then we'll have to cut that up. That's going to take a couple of hours. And freeze up bags for each different day. Yeah. People don't know about that day of the week. That's a rough day. It's a smelly, fishy day.
Looks like you got another one up there in the corner.
Yeah, that screen backdrop is making me dizzy too, but I figured it'd be a new one for you guys. And it reminds us of summer, not winter.
Yeah. Not only that, we did a lot of work back there.
All righty. So this is the point where I'm going to tell you guys what drinking word did you guys come up with? I'm not seeing anything on that. Oh, someone said something about the hygiene. I've cleaned all the counters with what's that blue and white spray bottle? Not oven cleaner. It's bleach. It's the bleach spray that you spray stuff down and it kills germs. And I sprayed all my counters with that and cleaned that all off. I use one sink. Everybody else uses the other sink. We're keeping everything clean here, and everything smells like Lysol in the house now. I keep it right with me. Oh yeah. My dude Meatloaf passed away today. Nobody will ever replace that man. If you guys have gone back, I know a lot of you are younger, but go back into the Meatloaf days. Paradise by the Dashboard Lights, Bat Out of Hell. These were all like rock operas. This guy was amazing. Get into it. You know how all this music's coming back into get into some Meatloaf because this man was amazing. Great voice. Great, oh my God. Great songs. All righty. Let me see what else here. Okay, guys. How about Meatloaf? What about Meatloaf for the drinking word?
We could do that. Meatloaf.
All right. Meatloaf, everybody.
Meatloaf, everybody.
It's a tribute to our fallen friend, a great musician. But every time I say the word Meatloaf, I can't thinking of you.
Ah, you got jokes now,
My fat little friend over here.
huh?
Mm.
Just whatever you do, keep your hand out of the cookie jar.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of which, do you remember when we moved over here? We had to take, I had the whole garage was my fish room,
Yeah.
and then my house over there, and we had the 4400 was in the driveway under, it was wrapped in
It's under the tarp and all that. Yeah.
all the styrofoam and the heater inside of it.
Yeah.
And then we had to move all them fish over here that weekend.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a job?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
We got a 26-foot box truck. This guy's been around forever, 25 years?
yeah. About 25, 30 years.
Yeah, so we get this box truck and we fill it up with swimming pools and tubs and all these things, and we get all of our fish from that whole garage and we got them in this box truck and we bring them over here. Now we had to leave them set in the box truck while we went back with the flatbed and got all the tanks and all that kind of stuff so that we could bring the tanks over, set them up to bring the fish back into their tanks over here.
Yeah.
It was a job and a half. It took us.
I remember when Josh was little, I used to go to the store and buy him candy and stuff.
Yeah, you've been around a while.
Around quite a
But
while.
yeah, that was a heck of a job. Who's here? Oh, that's our buddy, the bearded fish keeper, everybody. Walk on past me.
I'm coming.
Who's this guy right here? I never seen him before.
I am Ryan.
This is my buddy Ryan. This is my buddy Hoover.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. What's up?
No, you can't shake my hand.
I just had COVID, so I mean.
That don't mean you can't catch it again. Here, tell you what. There you go.
What's up, guys? How's
That Lysol works for everything. Okay, so you got your phone. Can you do super chats?
Yeah, I can read.
You know how to do them? Okay, because on here they jump and we miss them. So Josh always does them on his phone because he can keep scrolling back up to see the last one we made. And the last one we made was... Oh, there's a few here.
There's a few, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Jim Sheasley.
Nope.
At the last.
Pale Horse Rider for $9.99.
$9.99.
So the next one, I'll grab it, is the Heddick Aquarium Hole. You guys remember Eric Heddick and his beautiful family? We just went up to New Jersey. Well, I say we. They went up to New Jersey,
Yeah.
picked up his fish and a bunch of tanks and all that. He's moving from New York to, I think it was South Carolina?
No, he's moving to Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
And he moving from this little tiny yard to huge acreages. He's not going to know what to do with himself. Eric's going to love it.
Yeah.
And his kids are going to love it. Oh,
Yeah.
get them to play in the creek, Eric. They're going to love that. Thank you, Eric, for that $5 super chat. He says, God bless you guys and get well soon. He's part of the family. He's been around. Oh, our buddy Jim Sheasley's here. He sends $5 and says, thanks again for the fish. They are all doing well. Well, Jim, I wasn't out there, so I don't know what Josh gave you. I know you took the electric blue Jack Dempsey or something like that. Whatever else you took, I know you'll give it a good home. Of course, Josh knows the same thing. That's why we give you the fish. We give out fish every day, but, we don't video that kind of stuff because it's nothing to us, but we're videoing us picking up tanks and stuff like that, and now people are giving us problems about it. So I'm just going to start videoing all the fish going out, the fish that we give homes to, which, by the way, you're here tonight. You're going to pick out some fish?
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to you, buddy.
You.
I mean, I did bring a bucket, so.
Oh, smart man. Look at that's why he's my buddy.
I did take a fish home with me last
He
time.
knows what's going on.
Yeah.
What'd you take last time?
An Oscar.
An Oscar? Okay.
Yeah. He's doing really, really good.
That's awesome.
He's in a 125, all orange.
See, now that's the minimum. A single Oscar should be in a 75, but if you have a couple or other fish with them, a 125 is a minimum,
Yeah, I have.
And you're doing it. You did good.
I have a bluegill with him, but he's getting ready to go to our buddy Joe out in PA.
Oh, Joe Fry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a couple other things that are going to him here. Luke is getting ready to meet him, take him some fish. So we're moving some fish.
Luke's a glutton for punishment, ain't he?
Luke
He'll
is-
drive 3 states to pick up a bluegill. He's crazy.
I love Luke.
He's doing a lot of driving for us. Luke's the man for sure. All right. Jim Sheasley again for another $5 says my Paku loves meatloaf. I tell you what, Jim, they love anything. Grapes, nuts, walnuts, peanuts, spaghetti. I have one lady that gives him strands of spaghetti, her Paku. And although I advised against it, but her Paku is the fattest Paku I've ever owned. We took it from her, gave it a good home, and then later on got her involved with a 1,500-gallon tank, and I was able to give her Paku back. So this was the fattest Paku I've ever owned. It was about the size of Big Betty, but a lot fatter, like 1.5 times of Big Betty.
This was a few years ago, though.
Oh, many years ago, yeah.
Because this was before I started coming around, and
Yeah.
I've been coming around for like 3 years now.
3 years?
Uh-huh.
It was like 5. Okay.
Yeah, it's been about 3.
Oh, our girl Ange is here. I tried having Will over here tonight, Ange, but he wasn't having it. She put up $15, says sending my love and healthy vibes your way. Aw, we all love Ange over here. She's the sweetest. She's the sweetest, ever. She's always there for us. She's always there, standing behind us and sticking up for us. We love her. Thank you, Ange. All right, Lori Kish. This is one of our mods. She said $5, and she says meatloaf. Broken heart, broken heart, broken heart. Lori, you're at that age where you grew up with meatloaf. Yes, amazing talent, wasn't it? Thank you for the $5, and everybody, meatloaf.
I don't have a drink.
Would you like one?
Sure.
Who can you?
I'm gonna make you one.
Okay. If you're wanting alcohol, there's beer in the fridge. Alcohol, as soon as you open my door, it's sitting on my bench. As soon as you walk in.
All right.
Beer? What beer you got?
Bud Light.
I'll take a
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Okay.
Appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. What's mine is yours, brother. All right.
Did you do your Tracy update already?
Yes, we just got finished with it, and she'll be coming home the next couple of days.
Good.
But we were talking about when I first bought this house, and we had to bring all the fish over here. Here, we loaded up the fish over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Filled up the 26-foot box truck with a swimming pool and tubs and all this. We got all the fish in. We get here, now what are we going to do with them? We had to get a flatbed truck, go back over there, get all the tanks.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Bring them over here.
It's tough moving.
Oh, it was an all-day, turned into 2-day event, but it was an all-day event just to get the fish off the box truck to return to box truck.
Oh my
goodness. And it was crazy.
I hope it wasn't in the middle of winter.
No, it was nice and warm.
Thank God.
It was
Thank you.
it was a
Yeah,
nice
you're
warm
welcome.
day. So yeah, that was crazy though, and that was right around the same time that we went to Mike Tyson's house.
Yeah.
So we were trying to get Mike Tyson had a house in Southington, Ohio.
That's where you got the carpet from.
That's where I got the Mike Tyson zebra
Yeah.
carpet from.
And we got
All the plants around the
Yep.
fake plants, yeah. So we were going out to Southington, Ohio at that auction, and we got all the zebra carpeting. We tried getting all the mirrors, but we couldn't get them off the wall without breaking them. And then we got all the fake plants. So we had that truck full, and that's the truck we used to move the fish over because, while we got it, let's move the fish.
Yeah.
But then we were like, well, we got the fish in the truck. What do we do now?
Yeah.
We got over here. We had to go rent a flatbed and get all the tanks over here. And it was like doubled our work for the day that we weren't planning on.
Yeah, it's a tough thing moving tanks. I moved 5 tanks from my old place to my new place. Now I got 11 tanks. And,
Uh-oh.
wow. Yeah.
I remember when we cut all those trees out back there. That used to be all trees back there.
Oh, yeah. See all these trees here, people? All my neighbor's yard right here? That's how our backyard was all the way up until the house, because our sliding door that goes onto the back deck, there was no deck there. That was a window. And once I put in a sliding door there, you'd open the sliding door and you'd be out into the woods. I had to cut, me and Hoover, we had to cut trees down for like 20 foot by 40 foot to build the deck. And we had to take them out, roots and all. It was a big job. Plus, me and him got
Poison
ivy from all these trees, had vines going all up them, and we didn't know that was the poison ivy. So we had poison ivy that whole summer of building that deck and that sliding door and cutting down like 200 trees over to the river.
It was like 2 years. We had poison ivy for like 2 years.
Well, I didn't get to that yet.
Summer, yeah.
The first summer we had poison ivy all summer long. It was crazy. And we cut all the trees from the back of our house all the way over to the river. And then the next summer we decided, let's go across the river and cut the rest of the trees out and leave a few spatial trees there. And, we'll make it the whole backyard is open. And that's what we did. So the second summer we lived here, me and Hoover had poison ivy the second summer, all summer long. We was itching and coming up with all these different, I'm buying different things, he's buying different things. And we're like, I got the best thing here. And he's like, no, I've got the best thing. And we fought back and forth until ended up he had the best thing.
I ended up going to the drugstore and I found some stuff that it's like foam that you actually put on when you shower. And
oh my God.
It actually killed.
It was so bad.
We was running around buying all of it up.
Yeah, I had poison ivy on the arms, the legs, the back of my eyes, my forehead, my neck,
I used to
my
get
back.
it real bad too.
Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Well, we got a super chat from James Beatty for
Jim Beatty.
Bellady. Bell.
Let me see. Yeah, I have no chance of reading that. Let me go up to it.
Well,
it's right there.
Oh, that's not Beatty. Jim's Bellotti.
Yeah, Bellotti.
James Bellotti for $10. Okay.
and we got
Thank you, James. He didn't even say nothing. He didn't want to say nothing. He didn't want us to read nothing from him. He just wanted to donate the $10. Thank you, James. That's awesome of you.
Then we got JP Merlo says, "What's up, guys? Just got over being sick too. Sucks. Never get sick. Been sick 3 times this year. Meatloaf."
Now JP Merlo is our buddy. Well, here's meatloaf to you.
Meatloaf to you.
He runs Kentucky Fish and Aquarium Rescue, and he's a deacon down there. So he's a buddy of mine, and we went down there to one of his shows, and he's got one of the nicer shows around every year. It's the Mammoth Cave Aquarium Expo. You want to make it next year. Last year we were there. There was lots of things happening, a lot of good times there, and we're definitely making it back this year and taking more people with us, more YouTubers. So thank you, JP. Appreciate it, buddy.
This isn't a super chat, but I do have a question here.
Yeah.
He says, "Hey, Matt Barna says, hey, do you guys know how to get rid of fish lice? My Oscar tank is infested with them, and I've tried everything to get rid of them."
There is a multitude of different things. Let me look here real quick. I've got a list here of different medicines I use for everything.
How's it going, Reaper?
Oh, Reaper's online?
Yep, we see OFR behind the scenes chiming in. Says, "Hey, everybody. Happy Fishy Friday."
Happy Fishy Friday to you.
Okay, now see, we use what we have on hand. So I've got written down here that we use General Cure, API General Cure, because we had a bunch of it, and it does work. But you could also use like what was it? Microbe Lift makes a fish and lice medicine. Also good for like anchorworms and stuff. So just look on the internet and find what you like. We happen to use what we have the most of here. So more, and it ends up being more of a general cure. Like this thing here handles this, and this. We don't go out and buy specific medicines for just that, which would be better for you in your situation. In our situation, we use what's on hand. So you can't really use what we say to use because what we're using is for a different purpose. So I would look up online and see what the best thing for fish lice is. But, you know, the API General Cure does work. And what was the other one? The microbe lift lice and anchorworm treatment definitely works. That's what I've got written down on my list of what we use.
While we got that on topic here with some medicines, E46 gang says, "Hey Big Rich, how do you treat hole in head on clown loaches?"
Clown loaches get hole in the head? I've never seen it. Okay, hole in the head comes from bad water quality.
Yeah,
I don't care who you are.
Water.
I don't care who you are. If you've got hole in the head, you've got bad water quality. You think you've got good water, you're wrong. It comes from bad water parameters, whether there's too much food and decay in the water, whether there's ammonia in the water, whether there's nitrites, whether there's way too much built up nitrates and you're using test sticks and it's not getting it right to where you think there's low but it's really high. So there's a lot of different factors that come in there, but it's mainly always from bad water conditions. So when we get a fish, like we got Thanos came in, he had a big hole in his head right here and like 3 other little holes on the side. All we did was every single day we did a 50% water change with him. And within a week, it was closing up and looking better. Water changes, good quality water, okay? You want to swear by your test kit could be wrong. It could be old. It could be out of date. It could be, just not good. Maybe one, if you're using the API test kit, maybe one of the bottles are bad, or maybe you didn't shake it enough and it's giving you a false reading. So hole in the head, just know this for a fact, it comes from bad water parameters. So, I get this all the time. People ask me and I tell them and they're like, oh no, my parameters are great. I just had it tested. I don't want to argue with people. Know this. Hole in the head comes from bad water parameters. Do water changes. Find out why you're testing and you're saying that your water's good, because it's not. Something is wrong there, okay? Do water changes. That's all we do. We don't add no medications. We just change water. And, we go a little bit extravagant, 50% a day. Some people wouldn't do, but we do, and it cures it. Thanos came in. He has that huge bump on his head. He had hole in the head all over the front of him. We got that closed up, and you never even know that he had hole in the head before. A lot of times there's scars. No, this cleared up and looks great. And we gave him no medication, just clean, clear water, period. And that usually always, cures. I mean, you're more than welcome to throw some medication in with it, but still do the water changes. It can't hurt, but I know that we clear it up here at the rescue by water changes.
Have you ever tried to have a subscriber call in, like during the live stream?
No, not really. We've had people call. My dad has called once. I'm like, hi, Dad. You're live on the stream. He's like, what in the hell's a stream? I'm like, well, Dad, we're live in front of, hundreds of people and you're here.
Well, I mean, we could put out a if somebody wants to Facebook call in, I mean, somebody can Facebook call me in and you could be on the show.
We could do that.
If somebody would want to do that.
Problem is, you have them watching from our output and us here live. Well, there's a 20-second delay.
Yeah, well, we would just have to tell them to mute their live and have us just talk to them right here.
Yeah. Oh, and we got the Headache Aquarium Hole says, Jim Sheasley, enjoy the fish. Yes, them fish came from Eric Headache from New Jersey trip. And they found a really good home, brother. Jim Sheasley is one of the nicest guys around, and he will take care of them. The money is nothing to him. He will take care of the fish. Your fish have found a good home. We don't give out fish unless we believe in the home that we give it to. Okay. Now I know I said we don't video that very much because we're just giving out fish. That's what we do. But we're going to start videoing that for you guys because You know, we got one guy that's like, all I ever see is you guys taking in these free tanks and you're hoarders and you're black. Oh, geez, come on. So we're going to start videoing the fish going out in the homes that we do find them and, you know, that kind of thing. Well, the people that don't follow on Facebook, when people take fish from here, I always have them, you know, send a picture of their tank when they're at home and blah, blah, blah. And we post it on Facebook. So a lot of YouTubers aren't on Facebook. You know, we have 140,000 followers there. We have 40,000 on Facebook. So there's 100,000 people that aren't watching on Facebook of us rehoming these fish. So we're going to have to start videoing these fish going out of the rescue, because I'm telling you, out of every 500 fish we get in, 470 go out. Okay. We don't have the facility to keep every fish that comes in. We're not hoarders. You know, we made a deal with people that if you've got a family pet that's been there forever and he's got a name and you can't take care of it no more, we'll keep it at the rescue and he'll keep the same name and you can watch it grow and you know, other people can enjoy him too. And with that, we're filling our tanks up with named fish is a problem. A lot of fish are like single fish, like the electric eel. Great fish. I'm glad we took it in. I'm glad we gave it a home, but he has to be in a tank by himself. There goes one whole tank. You know, the lavaca, the puffer, she has to be in a tank by herself because she's mean. So there goes one whole tank by himself. We don't have the facility to put one tank, one fish all the way around. So it's hard for us. We are forever fighting what fish can go in what tank with what fish. You know, we also have to size them by size because big fish will eat small fish. But this fish can't go in there because he'll bite at the eels. You know, they're big worms to him, you know, so we can't put this fish into there. It's a nightmare, but we've been doing it. And, you know, like this new puffer that came from, you know, the Heddick Aquarium Hall, Eric Heddick and his wife. He raised it with his cichlids. So we put it in with our cichlids. Now, the day that we see him, because it is a Fahaka puffer and they're known to be mean, but the day that we see him going after a fish, we will move him then. But for right now, we're enjoying the fact that he can be in with other fish. So we don't have to give him a single tank alone by himself. Okay? So, I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into what we do. It's a big job.
You've already had a Vahaka in a community, though, so I mean, you're experienced on that. So Vahaka, or the puffer that you have out there now, I mean, she's a little bit different. She's mean. She's just sassy New Yorker up there. You know
what I found out though? You can put 3 or more Mabu puffers together, and they won't kill each other.
Yeah.
We put her in with Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Didn't know that, and she tried killing them.
That's my girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
She went to go get food.
Gotcha. So, you know, that was our fault there. So if we can find 2 more Mabu puffers, they can share the same 265-gallon tank with Lavaca.
Or they can all share the Bellagio with the cichlids. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that I don't know, because there's fake corals in there they might chew on. You know, there's a bunch of things that you don't know, you know. So I don't want to try that.
I mean, you've got the one in there now. You can monitor that one, see what that one does for the time.
He's a little guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Lavaca's big.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. But you don't have another one right now, so you can't even try
so
that.
we get 2 Mabu puffers, and we throw them in the Bellagio with the cichlids, and then they take chunks out of the fake coral all night. We wake up and you're like, oh no.
Oh no. I mean, that's why you put them in the morning and you just sit there and watch them.
Well, we've done that before. That's how we lost that Arapaima. We put him in with Brutus. He was 3.5 foot. I think his name was Bruiser or Bowser, one of the two. We put him in the pool pond with Brutus all day long. They were fine. We went to sleep. We woke up in the morning and go out there, and that second Arapaima was floating with just his lips out of the water and his tail straight down, where Brutus had, I rewound the tape, he had been going after him all night long, stressing him, and we got him out, put him back in with the stingrays, and he ended up perishing.
Just damage was already
damage. Yeah, too stressful. It was bad.
Well, we got Jim Sheasley in for $3. Thanks, Eric and family.
Aw, Jim's a heck of a nice guy.
Then we got Brittany Ziblets.
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 She's one of our mods. You're a mod. You should know her.
I am bad with names. I am bad. It's just. But she says, "Happy Fishy Friday, OFR family, Big Rich, Hoover, Ryan. What's up? Glad to hear you're feeling better and glad to have you back on stream. Get well soon, Josh. Hashtag
Aw,
meatloaf."
thank you,
Meatloaf.
Brittany.
Thank you.
Meatloaf, everybody. A talent that is just gone forever. That man was amazing. Okay. Now, let's get back to the story. So, we get the flatbed and we get all the tanks over there.
Oh,
And now-
this is okay.
I've been trying to continue the story.
We're jumping back a little bit here, guys. So just remember that.
So we get the flatbed and we go back. Now, this is all extra work we didn't plan on doing that day. We were just moving the fish. But we couldn't move the fish out of all the tanks that were on the truck because they were in the tanks. So we had to go back and get a flatbed and get all the tanks and bring them over and set them up and all that. And this has been a long day here. And we finally get all the fish off the truck and we were able to move the pond and put some back in there and stuff. And we set up a fish room here. And it was the original fish room on the side of the house. And, we had temporary pools in there and all this kind of stuff. And it was small, it was.
I remember.
And remember, we ran out of gas too.
Was Reaper involved?
No, Reaper what? It was me, you, Josh, and Lil Rich.
Well, who was driving?
You was driving.
No, we didn't.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
You was driving.
Reaper! Oh! Look, Reaper's in the chat. Reaper, you see this? You see this?
All right, I'm going to go ahead and change this background real quick because people are complaining.
Reaper does say for $2 changed background. Dawn getting dizzy. Hashtag Team Tracy.
There you go. That's the other one there. I like this background.
Well, you want to take a break and go eat real quick? Me and Hoover can take over.
All right, sounds good.
Already?
Sounds good. I'll be back.
His wife is here with his food, so.
No, just my girlfriend.
All right, I'm sorry. His husband's here.
Okay.
Okay, let me see here. I thought that background was nice because it showed all the summertime.
Yeah, I did too.
The
I thought it was
pond
nice
and all
too,
that. Okay, so anyways, so we get all the tanks there, we get all the fish off, and I think it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. We went and dropped off the truck and to try and not get charged for the next day, but it was. They said as long as you drop it off before they get there, you wouldn't get charged the next day. So we did all that and we got it done. About 4 o'clock in the morning, we're back there and we were able to close the garage door and call it a night and go to bed. And we had been doing this since 8 o'clock in the morning. It was a rough time. And we didn't lose no fish in the process.
No.
We saved them all and brought them all over here. And that's basically the time that, okay, all this moving you're doing and moving stuff in, well, now the fish are here. You live here.
Yeah.
There was no arguing about it. We just had stuff at the last house now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we did. We kept on moving stuff and, we set up everything here. And if you go back, you can see all the videos from way back, because they're listed by date. So the farther back you go, we've got over 600 videos. You can start on the first, I think the first 12 were, non-monetized, just videos of here's us doing this, here's us doing that. And it shows how we got started into this with the bigger tanks. And then that's what led to getting into the OFR and getting a not-for-profit status and all that kind of stuff. So let me see here. Drew Figueroa says, if you could restart the fish room with all the tanks from the beginning, what changes would you make? I would build the fish room taller so that the 4400 could be on its stand. The 3000 could be on a stand. The roof was only 8 foot. The tank is 6 foot tall. The stand was 3 foot. So if we could have made a 12-foot ceiling instead of a 8-foot, it would have been way better. And then, you know, instead of looking at the tanks like this, you're looking at the tanks like this, which is like much more an amazement.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's one thing I would have definitely done that I cannot fix now.
I agree with you. I'm saying, but it started out small and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, it's amazing.
Oh, we've definitely grown over the years. It's been crazy.
It's really amazing.
And you know what? Our following, our people are just so amazing. All these people that support us and stick by us and watch us. And, you know, if you guys weren't watching the YouTube videos, we wouldn't have the extra money to do half the stuff we do. You know, that YouTube came in and started giving us a little bit of cash because I was paying for it out of pocket every single month for years. And then that YouTube money started coming in, and now it's covering itself for the cost of the actual running, you know, figures, you know, the $3,000 a month for bills and food. It's now covering itself. Well, sometimes it goes up and down, but it's really close to always covering itself to where I have to just throw in some money. But as the channel will grow, we'll then have money for extras. Like, I can't wait for the day that we're making an extra $2,000 a month where I can just go and buy all Universal Rock backgrounds and do all the tanks and all the backgrounds, because I consider that not a necessity, but you know, a beautification thing. It's unnecessary. The tank needs to be there. The fish need fish. The fish need the heat. The fish need the water. The fish need the electric. They don't need a background, you know? So that is not a necessity.
I need a comfortable place to live.
So now once we start making more money, like if we get up to, you know, we're at 140 now, we make it up to 200,000, we might make another 1,000 a month to where we can spend it on backgrounds and making beautification and stuff like that. All unnecessary things, but making the tanks pretty. You know, buying more filtration and adding into more filtration to where they stay polished at all times. Right now, we're at the point where we feed, you know, at nighttime because the tanks go cloudy for 6-7 hours before they come back clear. And then it's going to take a couple more hours for it to come back polished. I love my water staying polished where it looks like the fish are just floating in air and there's no water. I love that look. So more filtration would be better. Right now, we've got the bare minimum of everything, and we're keeping the fish and doing our job and doing what we need to do. But, you know, as the channel grows, we'll be able to do more. And, you know, the more we buy from, like, say, a store, the more of a deal we'll get on that stuff we're buying from that store. So we need to talk to people and get involved. Hey, we're looking to spend, you know, so much in the next year doing this at our rescue. Can you give us a deal on, you know, each individual item as we go? Basically like not a sponsorship, but that store is helping out and giving it to us at a better deal, you know, stuff like that. So we've got our mods working on sponsorship and trying to, you know, we're sending letters out and do all that to get food covered. And, you know, we had Hygar send us some food, but it's not a monthly type sponsorship. They give us no money. They give us no food no more. They sent us this one-time big package of food, which we appreciate. Thank you, Hygar. Your guys are great.
There's a good question on there too, Rick.
Hang on, I'm rolling here. So they did really great by us. Microblift sent us a bunch of different products, and you know, we appreciate that. You know, all kinds of different disease control and stuff like that. Medications and stuff and food. They sent us some koi food, and then we've got Aquascape. You know, they built this pool pond and stuff. You know, they've given us many different medications and stuff, and then the filtration for the back. But we don't have a sponsor, which is like, here's what I would like to do. Every fish tank would have a bag of their food sitting on top of it. In other words, every video we make would show their fish food in the background. And then we get our food for free every month. You know, so that tank in the back right there, that one would have food on it. That one there would have food on it. That one would have food on it. All these ones along the whole side wall up here, where's it at?
Over there.
Up that way, yeah.
Yep.
All of them would have food on it, and it would have, like, if Aquascape would do it, it would all be Aquascape, you know, floating sticks or whatever, or sinking pellets or whatever. That's the type of sponsor I'm looking for that would, you know, give us our monthly food for free, and then we would advertise their product for them. That would help. That's the gift that keeps on giving, because we're helping. And also another thing I want to do is I was in talks with Chris Biggs about making our own our own supply of monster fish pellets, sinking pellets, big biscuits for monster fish. Because let's face it, you put down 100 little pellets and they all dissipate everywhere. You put down 2 big biscuits and the fish, you know, suck it up and swallow it. It's a lot cleaner. If we get our own Ohio Fish Rescue monster pellets, we can buy it in bulk and rebag it and sell it out so that everybody has the same formula that we're feeding our fish. And then we would get our food cheaper to feed our big monsters. That's another thing we're looking into. So, you know, there's a lot of things coming up in the you know, future coming. So, you know, stick with us. All right, we got Terry Dime, oldest and baddest. And she was actually first one to comment on Reaper's video today. She was like, "Oh my God, I'm first. I can't believe it." She sends $25. Wow. She says, "Hi, Hoover. Never got to say hi to you. Stay fishy from Texas."
I'm always going to stay fishy. Always. And
We're not talking about you not showering and
no,
smelling
no,
fishy.
no. I don't smell fishy. That's you. No, but I did see a question on there. Somebody asked, "Did I got my own tank?" No, I don't have my own tank, but it's just like having my own tank at Big Rich's house, because the fish that I actually like needs a big home. I like the alligator gores, and they get very big, and you have to have a lot of room to actually house them. So it's just like his fish are really my fish, because I'm always here helping out.
Yeah.
You know, always.
Well, and you guys know I always like to help out the volunteers first. I give them first dibs of anything that we get in free. And, you know, if you guys, if Luke can use it, take it. If, you know, Bearded Fish Keeper needs it, take it. You know, these guys help us out without, you know, ever asking for anything. So I always give them first dibs of, you know, I've got a whole pile of stuff, you know, air pumps and heaters and filters and stuff like that. If you guys need anything, you take it, because you guys always, the volunteers help out. So I give them what they need first. Hoover, he actually came up from, was it North Carolina?
No,
West Virginia?
Tennessee.
Yep. And, you know, that's his home down there. So he come up here to spend a few months hanging out here. I can't, like, give him a fish tank because he can't take it with him and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, it's that kind of thing. But, you know, like if Ryan's got, you know, a bunch of 10-gallon tanks he's breeding and he'd like to upgrade them to 20, I'll give him all the 20s that come in until he gets that, you know, his new setup done. You know, if he needs a 125 where he's got a 100-gallon, you know, we'll give him the 125, you know, and help him out, that kind of thing. So we always help out the volunteers that help us first, and then we give away to the general public.
I have gotten a few tanks off you guys.
Michigan Tropicals is here. They sent $5, says, hello, much love from us to you. That's our buddy Michael Urbeck up there in Michigan. He owns a pet store called Michigan Tropicals. Check him out. And
really nice place. I've been down there for the rescue down there, and they're nice people.
Good people.
You know,
yeah. All of our fishy family are all good people. Now, you know what gets me is on YouTube, we're open to the public, to everybody. I got a guy on there, and I can't remember his name. His name was, I'm going to put him out on blast.
yeah,
His name was, yeah. Jeez, what was his name? It's in here. I got it. I know where it's at. Here we go. This is the kind of stuff I have to deal with. It's crazy. Come on. My mods talk so much in our mod chat.
Don't look at me.
Okay, his name is Nathan Radcliffe from Australia. And now he goes like this. He sends me a message. He goes, hey, I have a 45 by 45 by 45 cube with shrimp, and I'm setting up IBCs and a pool for other rescues. He did not ask a question. I was sick. I did not answer him. I was like, oh, that's cool. It shows a receipt on there. And then like an hour later, I get, wow, bro, didn't think you would be that effing rude not to even acknowledge you have read my messages. Guess the CUNTS I have spoken to about you were right, you arrogant CUNT. Oh, he's that mad at me, calling me names because I did not answer him. These people don't understand. I get 1,000 messages a day. You know, I happen to be sick this week, and he's going to talk to me like this because I did not answer him in a timely fashion. You know, I don't even need people like that in our life. This is not how our fishy family is. This is not how people treat people. These people, you know, want to act like that. I don't even need you in my life. And you can see right here, you blocked Nathan Radcliffe's Facebook account. It says right there, unblocked. I didn't even, nothing. It's just, the nerve of this guy thinking, I should have to answer him. If you're writing somebody you don't know, they don't have to answer you, period. If they can and they have the spare time and they do, well, you know, thank you for your time. But he didn't ask me a question like, hey, bro, my fish is sick. Here's a picture. Can you help me? He did not ask a question like that. He told me he's got this size tank, this size pool, and he's going to use it for rescues. You know, should I have sent him a thumbs up? Possibly. I was sick. I was like, he didn't ask a question. I just moved on. I've got thousands of messages a day I have to answer. And then the fact that he wants to turn on me and get mad like that and call me names, I'm glad I didn't answer you. You're a douche. I'm sorry. We have nothing but good people in our family, and you don't deserve to be part of our family, Nathan Radcliffe. See ya.
Oh, I see somebody trying to hit on me in the chat there.
Hit on you?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I can't even read that. Ann Pham says, bearded fish keeper is a hottie. You are kind of cute, buddy.
Oh, man. Then we got Nate in here going, wow.
All right. Hello, Gary Fletcher says, hello from Lincolnshire, United Kingdom. Love everything you do. I love how far out we get. And you know,
Yeah.
I've never even heard of Lincolnshire, United Kingdom. I'm sure it's a beautiful place. And, you know, Gary, thank you for saying something. I appreciate that. That's a long ways from here. Oh, Dougie says, Big Rich, how much longer have the people got to wait to see you in that mermaid costume?
Oh.
Actually, we were all ready to go ahead because the last mermaid costume came in. We were all ready to go ahead with it 2 weeks ago, and then we got COVID. So it's been, you know, 2 weeks of just, it was horrible. And, you know, Josh has been over helping and all that. Now we got to go through 2 weeks of Josh not being here. We can't do the mermaid outfit then. We need all three of us here, me, Josh, and Reaper. So, you know, it's going to take a while. I'm a man of my word. You guys met the monetary status, and I will do it. I'm sorry it's taken so long, but it's, you know, devices out of my control. I am sorry. I would love nothing more to jump on it and get it done and over with, to cross it off my list. If anyone knows me, if it's on my list, I work daily to get it crossed off. Because the list builds daily, and I'm trying to cross it off daily. And that mermaid video is on there, and it's been on there. So we are getting to it. We've got lots of different ideas. The longer it takes, the more ideas we have, the better the video is going to be. So just know that I'm a man of my word, and we will do this. It's coming. It's just taking a while, buddy. I'm sorry.
I can't wait to that day.
Are you going to get in the mermaid outfit too?
The coconut bra is what's going to make it.
Manatees. It's just gonna look like a manatee.
See, now Chris Trapp says being from Australia was the first problem. Not really, buddy. I'd like to agree with you, but I can't, because we have a big following in Australia, and they have been nothing but kind to me. I mean, they have been great. This one guy got an attitude because I didn't answer him. Well, he needs to check himself. Like with everybody, be the best version of yourself that you can be. And if you're getting mad at somebody because they're not talking to you, maybe they're busy, maybe they're sick, maybe something. But that person does not owe you nothing. You broke into his conversation. You texted him on blindly on a message through Facebook that he may or may not see, and then he may or may not answer you. Okay? I think 5,000 friends on Facebook, and then 140,000 people messaging me, and I'm sure not all of them message me, but from, YouTube, I get all kinds of emails. I get over 1,000 messages a day, and I try and keep up and answer the more important ones. So for the people that I don't answer, please don't get mad.
It's nothing personal.
Just understand. I've got a lot to do every single day, and I try and handle getting it all done. If I don't answer you, you tell me, hey, I've got a 55-gallon with Cory cats in it. That's not like a question. I think to myself, okay, cool. And I put you aside, and I go on to the next one, and I put that aside. Oh, this one here, this guy needs an answer. He's going to lose his fish. So please don't get upset and mad. Now, that just shows me the type of person this guy is. He feels entitled that I have to answer him. I don't know him from Adam. I don't have to do anything for anybody. All I have to do is keep my word, because I'm a man, and then do what I say I'm going to do. And I try and help the fish community, help the whole, rescue out as best I can every single day. And then, I'm also helping my friends, and, they're always helping me. And if they need my help by any reason, I have a trailer, they need to move, I'm there helping them, So, I'm always busy. Nobody's entitled to an answer from anybody else. If I wrote Joe Biden and he did not answer me, I wouldn't call him names. If I wrote Trump and he didn't answer me, I wouldn't call him names. It's people are busy. And now you want to write, I don't consider myself a celebrity, but I do deal with a lot of public every day. You want to write me and I don't write you back. You have no right getting mad at me. Who do you think you are, Nathan? You're just some guy. You don't deserve my attention if, I don't have it to spare. If you'd have asked me a question and it was of some sort of importance, and I would have answered you. I try and answer them first. And then if I've got time left, I'll go back and, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. But I really don't have the time. And I did not mean to upset this guy. But the entitled thinking of this guy just kills me,
Yeah, it's crazy.
Calling me names, I guarantee you he would not call me them names if he was face to face with me. I guarantee that. Or I dare you to do that.
There's a lot of people that don't understand there's not enough hours in a day to get things done. Even like on the list to do.
Oh, my list to do.
The list long. To do, it's long. I'm saying there's small stuff on there, there's bigger stuff on there. Then taking care of the fish and going on rescues and doing all that stuff. It's like, you're overwhelmed about all the things that you have to do. I'm saying just because a person don't just write you back right away, I'm saying don't mean that they're ignoring you or something.
You shouldn't call them names.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't get mad at somebody if they didn't answer me. I'm saying you just didn't answer me. I'm saying
right.
Maybe one day you'll get back to me. I'm saying.
Or maybe you ask 2 or 3 more things, and someday they do answer you.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have to answer you.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that I've messaged that are famous before when I was younger that still haven't messaged me back. I'm not sweating over it.
Them assholes.
Right. I'm not. Like,
You tried. You shot your shot, and they did not get back to you. It's okay.
roll my bag over my shoulder and I'm walking out the door. That's all I got for you. You can only try so
Guys,
much,
can
man.
you go hit that like button? It really helps us out on the YouTube algorithm. We've got 390 people watching, only 180 likes. Please go hit that like button.
Smash it.
Hit it 4 or 5 times.
I don't think
It don't
you can
work
do
that
that way. You can only do it once.
All right, you want to read this one?
Yeah. We got Claire Thompson, member for 8 months on Tiger Shovelnose. Thank you, Claire.
Oh my goodness, thank you, Claire. Now that's right there. That's standing behind us and helping us accomplish what we need to do. And you know, if somebody, one of our members, you know, comes with the big green thing, we try and read that too because they are helping. You know, so thank you, Claire.
She says, glad you're feeling better, Rich. Sending hugs from the UK. Hashtag meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
The UK. See, we're all the way in the UK
Meatloaf.
as well.
I have never been to the UK, and I so want to. That and what's the one with the castles? The Irish land.
Ireland.
Thank you.
Ireland. Yeah.
Ireland. I've seen so many pictures of Ireland and how beautiful. I would love to take, you know, my Tracy there and show her Ireland, you know. And then the UK has got so much history to it. I mean, that is built on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of history,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that whole area. So I would love to. But we're stuck here in Ohio.
I'm not stuck in Ohio.
Oh, we're stuck. I'm stuck. I can't leave for anything more than a day. My fish will starve.
Well, I mean,
You know?
yeah, we're kind of stuck in Ohio.
We're stuck.
Not only that, the list to do won't get done.
Right.
We gotta do the list, get it done.
Ooh, we got a couple super chats here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. We got Brittany again. Can't believe you guys have traveled 28,318 miles
This
via
year.
Google yearly.
Yes.
What
that
were
was
some of your favorite places?
okay. Let me talk about that a minute. I went all the way to California. My son just drove it one time and he said he'll never do it again. I drove twice in 1 month to California and back straight through, nonstop, no sleeping, no nothing.
Was that in 21 or was that in 2020?
That was last year. So I went there to California, and the moment we drove over the California border, we're in California now, we saw an accident on the side of the road where a convertible rear-ended the back of a semi and decapitated 3 people.
Wow.
We were like, oh my God, it was just horrific. It was, oh my, I've never seen nothing like that. And we drive past that. We go 2 miles down the road and there's a cop pulling over a car. The car comes to a stop. The guy gets out and runs. The cop gets out and runs after the guy. And we're driving past him like, wow, check this out. This was one of my most memorable entering your state memories ever. So, as far as what else, it was beautiful there, but the homeless was crazy. It was LA. It looked like every house had like the fences between them had people living like right at the fences and stuff. It was I thought California was going to be all ritzy and movie stars and all. It was dirty. It was like, wow. It looked like the streets of Cleveland.
Well, too, it all depends on where you go. I'm saying.
I'm sure.
You know,
But I was downtown LA and it was not, you know, I'm thinking Los Angeles, you know,
Yeah,
I'm thinking Beverly Hills.
No. So, what was your favorite fish that you guys have rescued in 2021?
let me see, the favorite fish, the albino redtail from California that came from Vincent Wu. The 4-foot alligator gar from California came from Vincent Wu. Before that, we had went to Oregon, which is north of California, right before Canada there. Or I'm sorry, Washington State, right before Canada. It was above Oregon, and got 19 huge 4-foot long catfish. And that's what started everything, was that trip. And that was all documented on Monster Fish Keepers. It was before YouTube and all that. And, you know, we went across country. We rescued them. We brought them all home. Didn't lose a one.
Is
They
that
were
when
like,
Josh got sick in the truck
yeah,
with Prime?
you were with the Prime, yeah. There was 19 4-foot catfish, and we brought them all home and didn't lose one. And that was at my last house. And then we still have a few of them here today, you know, that are out there. Yes, Prime smells like yes. It smells like rotten eggs, sulfur. It's all bad. And we had an 800-gallon tank that Josh primed the water with, and then went to sleep in that box truck with that. And this was funny. My son Richie was driving, and my worker, what was his name? I forget his name. And then my son Joshy went. Joshy was 15 at the time. So Richie and the other guy was driving. Joshy was taking a sleep in the back of the truck. So now they're driving and they pull over to a gas station. They go inside to get some snacks, some pop and all that, and pay for gas. They come back out and there's a crowd around the back of the truck. And they're like, what's going on here? So they come walking up, and here everyone starts yelling at them for getting this poor young kid drunk. She's like, what are you talking about? You know, here Josh had been in that cab with the Prime for so long. He opened up the door and the fresh air hit him, and he got lightheaded and fell out of the truck onto the ground. The people come running up thinking he's drunk. The cops were called. The cops showed up. They breathalyzed Josh and found out that he was not drunk, and that he had just, you know, fainted and all this stuff. And the crowd was like ready to kill Richie and my buddy. It was hilarious. But, you know, the cops let him go, and, you know, they drove on home. But nobody slept in the back no more because of the smell of the Prime.
Right.
It was so thick. It was so bad.
We got Paul Atkins in with a super chat. He says, "Hi, Rich. Loving this as always. I'm interested. How much is your water/electric bill every month? I bet it is a scary amount. Sending loves to you and Tracy. Better times ahead."
Well, the bills are between the water, the sewer, the electric, the gas, and then the food bill. There's 5 bills right there. It comes out to $3,000 a month. 28 to 31, somewhere around there, depending on how much food I buy. And that's all without medication. If we have to buy medication for, like, say, a larger tank, say the 4400 needs dosed, and we have to spend $400 or $500 on medication for that tank alone, you know, that's extra. I'm talking just the normal everyday average bills come out to about $3,000 a month. And, you know, that's what we are trying to pay every month, and then get above that to where we can have extras. And, you know, like everything's got cheap lighting on it right now. I'd like to have much more advanced lighting to where the water's clearer. If you ever seen cheaper lighting, makes it all light up like a glow, and, you know, it looks cloudy, but really good lighting makes it penetrate and beautiful looking. We need that lighting, but we had to go with the $50 per 4-foot LED light because we can't afford $150, you know, LED light that would make it better. So, you know, we've got like the 1,000-gallon, the 4,400, and the 3,000. I don't like how the lighting works on there. It always makes it look glowy and just not clear and clean. the lighting that used to be on there was much, it cut through everything and lit up the bottom and the walls. This here lights up all the particulates in the water and makes it look cloudy all the time. So, you know, I would like to change them out, but again, it's not a necessity. We have light on there. You know what I'm saying?
We got Jason Brooks for $5 super chat. He says, "Hey, Big Rich and Hoover, sorry couldn't make it. Still at work. Glad you're feeling better."
I asked Jason if he'd come over and hang out tonight because he's funny. He always makes me laugh, you know?
Yeah.
So I thought, you know, I invited everybody I thought that was funny. Like I invited Will Starr and Jason. I thought that would be a great lineup because we'd be laughing all night long, you know? Neither one of them could make it. And then we got the bearded fish keeper who never laughs.
That's with a serious face, huh?
He is. Oh, you are ticklish on your knees. Look at you
Yeah, I
now.
am. Thank you.
I feel like Dad getting sun now.
My dad does that to my
Does he?
do that to me when I was younger. Yes. All
I
the
did it to
time.
my boys all the time. It was hilarious.
It's a dad thing because now
It's
I
a
do it
dad
to my
thing.
son.
Do you?
Yep. My 4-year-old, he hates it when I do it, but he gets such a big laugh out of it.
Yes,
sometimes.
yes. And you know what? That's all that life matters is laughter and fun. You know, goodness, togetherness, laughter and fun.
Mhm.
You know, forget about all. There's so much evil in the world. There's so much problems in the world. Why be aggravated and upset and pissed off about everything? You know, you're just adding to the problems.
Right.
You know, be happy. I mean, my Tracy, she died on me. I did, you know, CPR. I got her back alive, and you know, it's been a year and a half of taking care of her, and she's made baby steps. The doctor, as a matter of fact, the doctor yesterday, I told him that she is at the point now to where I can talk to her every once in a while. I call them moments of clarity. She will be clarity to where she will close her eyes for 3 seconds for yes. And I can talk to her. And then I can ask her different questions and try and trick her. And she answers me. She's in a moment of clarity and she answers me. And he's like, I don't think that's possible. You're seeing things that ain't there. And I'm like, oh no. The nurse have seen it. We have seen it. She is, and it's been happening more and more, you know. And, you know, they don't want to believe it, but give her time. I guarantee she'll have some sort of resemblance of a life where she can communicate with us and we can give her a good quality of life. It's only been a year and a half, and, you know, where they said she'd never come back, she'd never be off her machines, and she worked off of every one of those machines. And then she started having moments of clarity. Now she's at the point where if you put her on her side, she'll bring her knees up and she'll lay in the most comfortable position. I used to hate it because in the bed next to you, you don't want a woman in a fetal position.
Yep.
You know?
You want her kind of like.
Yeah, like here, my arms around you, you're on my chest. There you go, babe.
Yeah.
No, she's curled up, got her butt sticking in my belly, and her knees are up, and her, you know, her head's away from me. She's in a ball. She's in the fetal position.
Yeah, but she's tiny.
That's her favorite position, and now she does this. I'm like, there's my Tracy. You know, I see her. She's there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, like I'm changing her diaper and stuff. She clamps her legs closed to where I have to pull the front of the diaper out between her legs. She'll lift her legs off the bed. You know, she'd never done that before.
Lift her butt up.
No, leave her butt on the bottom, but the legs come up off the bed instead of laying there. She'd never done that before. This is something new that happened in the last like 2 months. And, you know, the doctor's like, oh, well, that's just a normal. No, it hasn't been normal for a year and a half. This is something new that started,
Right.
you know. And, you know, they don't want to believe me, but I'm telling you, as long as she's showing progress, I'm going to keep fighting.
Yep.
I don't care if it takes me 20 years and she gets to the point where she can communicate with us. It'll give her a semblance, a resemblance of real. She can ask for something to drink, something to eat. If she's missing chocolate, I can give her a Hershey's Kiss. You know, that's quality of life right there. You know, if she wants some nookie, I can give it to her.
Hey now.
I'm kidding. But no, she deserves to I'm looking out for
She
her.
still has life ahead of her.
Yes, she deserves to be around when the grandbabies are born. You know, she was waiting for that for so long. You know, now this got taken from her. She deserves to be there. And you know what? Me and the nurses take such good care of her. She has not had one bed sore since she's been home in a year and a half. She has not had to go to the hospital in 7 months. We've been taking care of her.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until she got this COVID thing, and you know, there was nothing we could do about it.
Well, it happens.
We're not miracle workers. We're not
No.
doctors. We're not, gods. This happened, and she had to go to the hospital. But I'm telling you, the longer it takes, the more she does. I'm telling you, in a year from now, she's going to be doing a lot more than she was now.
She could be up and walking in a year. You
Oh,
never know.
I can do nothing but hope for that,
You never
but I don't
know.
believe that. I don't think that. I know that my first and only goal is to be able to communicate with her and give her, like I read this story about this guy that was in a coma, and he said the best day of his life since he got in coma was the day he asked for some chicken Alfredo and his mom brought him some chicken Alfredo. He said, before then, I'd never got nothing I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I just got fed daily. I want Tracy to be able to be that,
Yeah.
And she has been, doing so many moments of clarity where she closes her eyes for 3 seconds for yes. It's been amazing. And I trick her, do you want some food? Close her eyes for 3 seconds. Do you want to be a red fire truck? She don't close her eyes. Would you like a piece of chocolate? She closes her eyes for 3 seconds. I mean, I'm testing her. I'm trying.
Mm-hmm.
And she showed me that she's there.
Yeah.
So the more time that I give her, the more time I can fight for her. That's given her more time to come back even more. And my first goal is to get her to where she can communicate with us somewhat and have somewhat of an semblance of a good life, to where if she's thirsty, I can get her water. If she's hungry, I can get her food. If she's wants me to kiss her, she'll get a kiss. That's my first goal. Once she reaches that goal, everything else is plus.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, we got Victor Albert joining the Tiger Shovel Nose. Welcome.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Victor. Oh, it jumped. You see that?
We got Michigan Tropicals again.
Mission Tropicals.
Michigan. I said Michigan.
You heard him, right? He said mission first.
Michigan Tropicals. How are the marble tilapia doing, buddy? Where did you put them?
What was that? Marble tilapia. Oh, Josh just moved them last night. Where did he put them, Hoover? Do you know?
I don't know because I wasn't here. I just got back today.
They're out of the 550, and he put them all in the 3,000. All three of the tilapia, because two of them were pairing off. So he put them all in the 3,000 in with the pacus to see if they're going to pair off, if they're going to do good, and blah blah blah. He was going to put them in the pool, but I was like, they may be a little small yet. The red tails might be able to swallow them, so let's hold off a little bit on that. So that's where they went. They're in the 3,000 in with the pacus.
Yeah, I haven't been out there yet. I'm gonna go out there to the show and go look at the fish room and see what's going on out there. I've been gone for close to a week now. I just went on a rescue today.
Well, I was sick, so there was no reason for Hoover to be here. So he was gone. He visited his mom, his sisters, hung out with friends.
My mom, I wish I could visit my mom, but
Oh, my bad. I am so sorry, Hoover. His mom just passed. My bad. I am so sorry.
Sorry.
I mean, I'm so used to you going up to Cleveland and
yeah,
visiting
I love
mom.
my mom. I love
Right.
my mom to death.
So you were up there visiting your sisters and friends and all that kind of stuff, and JWA79 says, I knocked over a bottle of Prime 2 years ago, and I swear I can still smell that in the Pittsburgh. It is horrible.
I already know.
That is horrible smelling. Smells like rotten eggs, like sulfur. Like, oh, it was just horrible.
That is.
And if you're in an enclosed room with it, it will basically knock you out, you know?
I mean, it'll
'Cause
get
when-
you high.
Right. It got Josh high. And then when he opened the door, he got lightheaded and passed out and
Yeah.
fell out of the truck.
It's the sulfur in it.
And then poor Richie's like, what do you mean? My brother ain't drank. He was like so confused. What's going on here? Indie Dude 06 says, I thought all those lights were just donated. No, a lot of them lights were, and we're appreciative. But you know, we put them on tanks that we needed to, and you know, like on all the Bellagio tanks, there's 10 lights on there and they're all matching, but on there they light it up perfectly.
Oh yeah, that tank.
But the
those tanks
depth
are
of the
nice.
4400, they don't get down to the bottom and they light up all the particulates, and it makes it look cloudy all the time.
Yeah.
You know, instead of cutting through. Like we need much brighter, more intense lighting on the 4400 than the same lighting that's on the Bellagio tanks.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not putting down the lighting at all. They work great, but on 6 foot deep tanks, you're going to need a special light. You know,
Like the 4400.
right? The 4400 used to have them lights on there, and they were 100 watts a piece, and there were 6 of them. Man, that tank looked so great all the time. It looked like the fish were suspended in water, you know. And then you saw the sparkles on the bottom all the time. Now with the lighting on there, it's like lighting up everything for the first 3 foot, and then it barely lights up the bottom. You don't see the sparkles, and you know you see particulates in the water.
You're
It's
not
just
really seeing any of the guys on the bottom. as much
right,
as you
right,
would.
right. OBG Foster says particulates equals fish poop. Come on now.
I mean, you're
Yes,
not wrong.
he's not wrong. Particulates sound better.
Sometimes fish poop in your tank is a good thing because it knows that you have a good cycle. I mean, fish poop is very beneficial for all of your tanks, all your filters.
Brittany Zibla says, but don't forget, Big Rich, the person who thought Bearded Fish Keeper was a hottie. It wasn't me. I don't know what I'm saying.
I mean, I think you did, though. You did think I was a hottie. So.
I've never thought you were a hottie.
Oh, man.
Not once. I mean, you have helped us out many times, and not once have I thought to myself,
Many times.
he's kind of cute. I've never said that.
Oh, I've heard you say it a few times. He Ryan.
You lying. He's my dude. Oh, my goodness. I love our fishy family. Okay, Colin. He says, does anyone else here hear a smoke detector or a beeping noise every so often?
Yes.
Okay, yes. We get used to it and we tune it out. It is my alarm system, my ADT system. There is a backup battery in there. And it costs like $300 to replace. And it's dead. My system is not monitored no more. It calls my phone, blah, blah, blah. I own the system. So I can't replace that battery in there with their battery because it's too expensive. So we just deal with it. It's a backup battery beeping saying, hey, your battery's almost dead. Your battery's almost dead, you know? And you know, after a while you get used to it. You guys haven't. We have. I haven't heard it once tonight. And they're all
I just heard it.
I just heard it just a minute ago. Yeah.
But you know, you could probably let me see that battery, and I could probably get you a battery for pretty cheap.
Really? I'll
My
open
dad-
the case up and give it to you.
My dad does security work.
Perfect. That's what I needed, was somebody into security.
Yeah, my dad does all that stuff. literally everything. Cameras, monitoring. I don't know if it has monitoring.
Marie Dean says, never give up, Bigrich. I would never. I think as long as she is fighting, I can fight for her, because if she's making progress, why can't I fight for more time? You know how many of the doctors already said to pull the plug, all this. The first week, he said she'd never come off these machines. She would never be anything. She's already, a anoxic brain injury. And then within that week, she worked off of all 8 of those machines that were keeping her body alive. She worked off of all of them. Then she worked off of the respirator. She's not on a respirator now. She is just fine. You know what I'm saying? She is doing great. And for the last 7 months, she has been, upgrading and building more. Like, we had to buy more side rails for the bed because she was turning sideways and kicking her feet off of the bed. She'd never done that before. Now we've got side rails with padding to keep her feet on the bed. The day before she went in, she vocalized 4 times. She went, she made that noise 4 different times during the day. And I've never heard that before. She was moving on to the next plane of existence. She was starting to vocalize. I cannot wait till she comes back home and we can see what else she can do. You guys, you don't know that if someone says that they're never going to be nothing more than a vegetable and they prove them wrong, how beautiful this is in your heart. She proved them wrong. She's much more than that now. And she has had her moments of clarity where she can answer. I mean, I used to test her because the nurses were like, oh, she's blinking now. She's saying yes all the time. No, I'd ask her and she'd blink. Do you want me to kiss you on your forehead? She'd blink. I'd kiss her on her forehead. Do you want to go home? Yes, she'd blink. I'd tell her, okay, you're coming home with us. Do you want to see your kids? She'd blink. She wants to see the kids. The nurses never tested her. I asked her, do you want to be a big hairy gorilla? She'd blink. That don't mean nothing now. That blinking means nothing. That's a new trick she's learned. She's not listening to you. She's not adhering to this and understanding. You know what I'm saying? So I had to teach the nurses how to test her all the time. So I'm forever testing her. So she has made such progress. It's amazing. She's from somebody that says she's dead, she's gone, leave her go, like the doctors told me, to the point to where she is now. No. Here's to you, doctors, because she's going to see her grandbabies, period. And she knows that they're there. Her heart rate goes up when Diesel was licking her on the face. She knows he's there. He was licking her and kissing her and, all that. So, the more that I can give her time, the more that she can work this out in her head, the more semblance of a life she'll have, period. And I don't care. My life is over with. I had my life raising kids and being married. My life's over with. If I can help her be there for the grandchildren, that's my only reason left, of being here. Is now I didn't have no parents. I didn't have no family. I raised my kids by myself, never had a babysitter, always took them to work with me, had my own job, my own business so that I can take my kids to work with me. They've never had a babysitter. And now my kids have a babysitter, okay? And Tracy couldn't wait for grandkids. She couldn't wait. She loved babies. So, she deserves to be there for that. Some people say, I'm hanging on and, it's not fair to her. No, what's not fair to her is not giving her the time to fight. She is fighting and coming back. She may not come all the way back. She may not come most of the way back. But as long as I can get her to the point to where she can comprehend and ask for something and I can give it to her, that's my first milestone. When we get her to that point, okay, that's good enough for me. She can enjoy her grandbabies. So,
Well, we got Brittany chiming in for $5. She says, "Hey Hoover, has anybody told you you look like Kyle Gass from Tenacious
oh my
D?"
God, he does. He does.
I was laughing. I was laughing in the middle of this thing.
Hoover, can you play guitar at all?
No, I'd love to learn though.
You know who we're talking about?
No.
No?
Jack Black and Kyle Gass. Kyle Gass is in so many movies playing the guitar with, Jack Black there. And, oh my God, you look like him. You do. You got the same belly. You got the same boobies.
Actually, see this, you got some big boobies yourself. Oh yeah.
Oh my
that's,
goodness.
That's crazy.
Oh my God, it's even more identical the more you show it closer.
Well, that's him without hair. But, back when he was younger.
It's starting to recede a little bit here.
Oh my God.
We got Fish Tank Monsters chiming in for $5. Big Rich, glad to see you are on the mend. Keep up the positive side, dude. Whoa. Positive side, Tracy is your girl. Fight, fight, fight. You make me want to be a better person. Keep it up.
That's the most anyone can strive for. When you can show a positive, reinforcement and make someone else want to be a better person, that's the highest compliment anyone can give you. Thank you, buddy.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Fish Tank Monsters, you are the man. Thank you. If you just don't be selfish and you look out for your loved ones, you can do no wrong. You can do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? And my loved ones consist of my immediate family and my fishy family. You guys don't understand how many hundreds of people out there are good to us. That I used to hate people when I lived in Cleveland, and there were $10 hookers walking by, and there's a difference between a $100 hooker and a $10 hooker. She's got like one tooth and she's charging $10. Okay, this is the way my family grew up around.
Yeah.
Your house. It was crazy. I hated people. There were nothing but thieves and just nastiness around, and I didn't want to talk to nobody. I wanted a bigger fence around my yard, and I'm doing what I'm doing. And I move out here and I get into this whole fish thing, and you guys have you've opened up my heart to people again, because my belief in people is so much better now that I've got my fishy family. All you guys rock. You guys rock. The amount of help, the amount of caring, the amount of, I didn't think it was possible. I thought everyone was out to get you. Everyone was out to take whatever you had. I mean, I hated people back then. And this was 15 years ago. It was horrible. And, gunshots going off all night long, stuff being stolen out of my yard, my actual fence got stolen. The fence that I put up to keep people out, they stole the fence. You ever heard of that? They stole the fence. That was crazy.
There's a good one underneath there.
So, you guys have changed my heart. You guys have opened me up to, many good-hearted, great people. I love you guys.
Chris Toller there. That's not her machine beeping. That is the smoke detector or the alarm system beeping.
Saying for bad battery.
Yep. Just there.
That was it.
Yep. But we got Hayden G coming in or chiming in. She didn't send in a super chat or anything, but kind of a tank syndrome thing here. Says, I have 6 different fish tanks because of Y'all big rich.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Y'all are amazing. Go, go, go.
I did not mean to do this to you. I am so sorry. We did it to Reaper. He didn't have any.
I had one as well.
Did you?
When I first started back up, like I had.
When
one
you came
tank.
over here?
I came over here. I had one tank. Now I have 11.
We're sorry, brother.
Hold on.
Oh, you got that one girl going, woo!
Just one more tank.
That's all you need. One more tank. Hey, what do you think about your boyfriend in here? The girls going, woo, woo, woo.
It's probably her.
I'm in your mind, so it's different.
Your woman just said I'm hers.
No, she's.
Oh, she was talking to you?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
It's all
She's
right.
laughing.
It's all right. With the glorious mullet, I would let you have her. No, I'm just kidding. I love her. She is amazing.
Oh, Oddball Aquatics is here. Hi, Haley. She says, don't cry, Big Rich. We love you. We love you too, Oddball. Haley's such a sweetheart. You remember her?
Yeah.
How do you remember her?
Over here, from back when
What'd she look like?
back when you first moved over here.
Right?
She's
I
got
remember her.
she's got
I
all the
remember.
rope fish. She's obsessed.
She's
with
got the rope fish, and she's got the purple and green hair. She's a dragon lady.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember her.
Yes. Okay.
You
Yeah,
got,
she's a sweetheart.
you got somebody asking you something down there.
What's that?
Whips World.
Can a guy, an everyday Joe, such as myself, cut a 48 by 18 piece of plywood and put it on a 55-gallon stand and use it for a 90-gallon tank, or is that playing with fire? Ooh,
No.
yes. Don't do that, because all the weight of the tank are on the four corners. Okay? Everything else is suspended, but the four corners have to be propped up. You're wanting to put all the weight on the very center and leave it overhang? No, you're asking for trouble. Whips World, please don't do that.
You're gonna have trouble in the long run.
Yes, you're asking for trouble. Don't do that.
Just build you the right size stand.
Yes, it'll look better and be better and give you more storage.
Make sure it's level on all four sides.
You know, smaller tanks don't really necessarily need to be level,
No.
but anything over a 75-gallon needs to, or 75 and bigger needs to be level, because if it's off level, you've got all the weight on that one corner,
You're gonna end up
and you're going to fail on that one corner. The bigger the tank, the more weight on that one corner. Always level your bigger tanks from 75 up. Okay, Thelma Hall says, I had a car accident in 1975. The doctors and nurses told me I wasn't going to walk. I was told so many negative things. People do not understand that you can hear when you're in a coma. See, that was the same thing with me. When I was 6 years old, I was in Florida and I got my foot bitten off by a shark, and it busted the bone through. Oh, you never saw this?
No, I know that you had something wrong with your foot, but you still have your foot, so you didn't get it bitten off.
Right. Now, no, you got to understand. Okay, here's your foot. Okay. Now, this is your foot, this is your thing, this is your ankle. What it did was it bit back here. And it bit, all through all the meat and the tendons and all that in the back, and then it busted the bone. The only thing holding my foot on was this one tendon in the front,
Yeah.
and my foot could hit my leg up here.
Oh.
Okay, it was all ripped and shredded. It wasn't like a razor slice. It was shredded where the shark took the meat out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 7 doctors said they had to amputate it, and I'd never walk again on it. The 8th doctor said he could sew it back on, but I'd never walk. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this.
You want me to take a picture of it?
That's
then
up.
we can
Whoa,
show-
whoa, whoa, whoa!
Whoa! He's trying to make me touch his butt, guys.
Can you see the teeth marks?
Uh,
Okay, look on this side.
Not really.
Do you see the teeth marks?
Yeah. Here, let's take a picture so we can show all the viewers.
Now, them are all the teeth marks where the shark bit through and then it busted my bone. Yeah, that can't be seen. I don't see that.
Gotta lighten it up a little bit.
There you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
Well, you can see like 20 teeth
See
where
all the little white lines in there? That's what he's
where
talking
the
about.
shark bit my foot, and then there was nothing holding it on except for this one tenet right here, and they sewed it back together, and there was over 300 stitches, and the doctor, my foot was pointing straight down because what he did was he took the tenet and he overlapped it, and now there was like 4 inches missing, so he overlapped it. My foot was straight down, so I was walking like this on my foot with crutches. My mom stole my crutches from me. And for 2 years, I'd go like this and walk. It stretched out to where now you never even knew that my foot should have been amputated.
Yeah.
And, but if you do this, in the backside of your foot, feel the tenet right there. You feel that?
I know what you're talking about.
It's a clean sock. It's about the size of your finger.
Yep.
If you feel the backside of this, or you can look at it, look how thick that is.
Oh yeah. You see that?
Yeah.
It's almost like that thick where his other side was about.
It's the size of my heel.
Yeah.
So I was attacked by a shark and I almost lost my foot. 7 doctors wanted to amputate it. My mom fought them. And the 8th doctor, Hung Chung Lee, said he'd sew it back on, but I'd never walk again. And here I am walking.
You're a miracle.
So I do not listen to doctors.
All doctors do is run your hospital bill up and try to discourage your family to don't believe that you can get better.
Michelle L says, Big Rich, have you ever thought about writing a book about your life? It's been so eventful. Everybody I know says to do this. Haven't done it. I'm sorry, but I just don't think I don't know. Raheem says, I had my dad 3 years bedridden and caretaker taking care of him with Parkinson's disease and diabetes. Well, bless you, Raheem. Thank you for taking care of your dad.
He's a subscriber too.
Yeah, Raheem's a big friend of the rescue.
We've seen his name.
J Fish on one says, where's Josh tonight, Big Rich? Josh got tested positive for COVID today after being sick for 2 days.
He's got the vid.
He's home, resting, relaxing, and he ain't going to be around for 2 weeks.
Closing in on that 8 o'clock mark here, guys. Get your questions in.
Chinese and Indians are the best doctors.
We only got a little bit longer.
Stephen Machin says, but you do say ouch a lot. Well, that's because I'm 58 years old.
Young.
And I bend over and it hurts. I've broken my back dirt bike racing.
You can't bend over.
Oh, you stop
What are you
it.
talking about?
I've broken my back and I've broken my tailbone, all dirt bike racing. And then, I lived another 18 years of being a bouncer, fighting at punch palaces all over the place. So, I mean, I've got all kinds of medical issues and problems and this and that. It hurts me to bend over. I still do it. I have to fight through it.
Why do you have to?
Because who else? Are you going to follow me around and bend over every time I need to?
I mean,
No. So I have to do what I have to do to get by here. You know what I'm saying?
He's got to lose a few more inches off of his gut, and then he'll be able to bend over properly.
He wasn't getting the bend over joke.
You don't like them bend over.
Sonny Dennis says, Big Rich, is there any fish you really don't like? Not at all. We love all fish. But if you ask that question in a different context, is there any fish you wish wasn't sold? That would be the pacu. Now, the pacu are great fish, and they are very smart and make a great addition to your family. But the pet stores sell them. There's 4 points. Let me get to these. The pet stores sell them so cheaply and glorify them as, oh, these are vegetarian piranhas. And then they sell them for $1.99.
I think I saw one the other day at the last store. I think at RMS for $5.99 a piece.
Okay. Now, next, they are the fastest growing fish there is, period. So if you buy a 2-incher, he can grow to 2 foot in 1 year. Next, this fish will out-eat anybody in your tank and will eat anything he can fit in his mouth. The fact that he grows faster means he will eat his tank mates. The fact that he will eat, he's an omnivore. He will eat protein or he will eat vegetables. He's an opportunistic feeder, okay? The fact that he is the largest fish that is sold the cheapest. Now, what I mean by that is people see a little red tail. They're $29.99. You don't get a mother buying a 10-gallon tank and buying 3 of these fish because they're $1.99 a piece. If they were the price of the red tails, they'd be $29.99 a piece, and this mother would never buy them for her kid and her first 10-gallon tank. Understand? So, the fact that they're so cheaply sold, they're the fastest growing, and here's the next problem. As a large fish, I don't have no problem getting rid of red tails, tiger shovelnose, iridescent sharks. There's always people out there wanting them, including the public aquariums. But nobody wants an overgrown pacu. So this fish becomes my problem, and we become hoarders of pacu because nobody wants them. We never say no to a fish coming in. Pacu are the biggest problem. We end up with the most pacu. There's the problem, okay? This is why I give out a window cling to any pet store that refuses to sell pacu. It says this store is backed by Ohio Fish Rescue because they agree not to sell pacu. Now, I love the pacu fish. It is it's like a water puppy. Very smart and a great fish. One at a time. You don't need to go out and buy 10 of them for your 10-gallon tank. This is ridiculous.
This is also has to do with a lot of people being uneducated about the hobby and coming
Yes.
into the hobby as uneducated people and just making rational decisions. I think pet stores also have a lot to play with that as well, because they just want to move the fish as where I or myself or Big Rich would probably want people to show us their setups, make sure people are showing us their tanks before we get rid of that fish, or before that fish goes home with you.
Right.
That's what you've shown a lot of.
I have preached this so much.
All the
Oh, my
time.
goodness.
But pet stores don't. They don't care. All they want to do is see that fish get moved out.
Right. So, and here's a little example. I had one lady, she says, look, I went into the pet store. They had 15 pacu in there. I bought them all. I rescued them
No.
from the pet store. I will take care of them, and when they get too big, I'll give them to OFR. Please, this is the wrongest thing you can do. A pet store, if they sell all 15 pacu, you know what they're going to do? They're going to order more pacu.
Bring more in.
The best thing people can do is do not buy pacu from a pet store. Period.
They don't even deserve to be in the hobby, really.
Well, no, they're great fish.
I mean, but like I
on
said,
special order.
yes.
If I could I don't want to take any fish off of the sales rack. But if I could make any fish a special order, it would be the pacu.
Yep, I would agree.
Because of this. Now, the people that have the right setup for that deserve a pacu.
Right.
These fish are amazing. They're like water puppies. They definitely are smart. They come to you when they're fed. I mean, they're great fish. Okay. I don't want to stop them from being sold. But if you guys would stop buying them from pet stores and that pet store leaves them 10 pacu in there until they get too big, that pet store will never buy pacu again.
Nope.
Because they did not sell them and they had to pour money into them feeding them. Okay? I know it's rough and it's harsh, but that is the right way to go.
and not everybody's on the same page. So to have that turn overnight, it's just not going to happen. So we're going to constantly be fighting this situation inside these pet stores.
So our biggest thing is we reward pet stores for not selling. You get an official seal that OFR will back your store. And you know, that kind of stuff. And you don't get no bad press from any of us. I try never to shame a pet store or a people that I pick up fish from. If the fish is in a bad situation and you call us, I'm not going to shame that person. And a lot of people do. And I have to delete comments off of the internet.
But the best
I
thing
don't
that they
want to
could
shame
have-
them. They called us.
Called us.
That was the best thing, right? They called us, and now they're giving that fish a better home.
Mhm.
And they did righteous. Don't shame them, you know? So, I mean, we're trying to do the best that we can to help the situation in the world. But we need your help. If you see Paku out there, shame the pet store. You guys shouldn't sell these things. And then do not buy Paku from any pet store. The more you buy, the more they'll hey, we're making a buck. Let's buy more. You know? And that comes back to the problem is on me to house these guys when they get bigger, because we're not going to let them just perish or, you know, throw them out in the cold or in a garbage can or whatever. You know, like some people have done. We have seen these stories. This has happened. Okay. Even other rescues. One guy told me, he goes, you know what I do with Paku? I'm like, what? He goes, I take them out back and throw them in the woods. They become fertilizer. Are you serious?
Oh,
How do you call yourself a rescue? You know?
that's not rescuing. That's
And
killing.
you know the one people I'm talking about. I'm not going to say your name, but you know who I'm talking about. This was, it hit me upside the head like a baseball bat. I was like, oh my God, how can any person do this? You know?
I just think that they should just stop selling them altogether. But to hit it off with a good note at the end of the night, we got Carrie roast.
Carrie Brost for $100. Wow. The largest,
Donation of
the night. Says, God bless you all. Aw, thank you, Carrie.
God bless you back.
God bless you
Thank
right
you,
back.
thank you. God bless.
Thank you. That is going to feed a bunch of fish for a while. Thank you so much. Now, see, people say, oh, red-tailed cats and tiger shovel-nose and iridescent sharks, they're all in the same boat. They're really not.
No, you can
Because
get rid of a red tail so much easier.
The
than
red tail, the tiger shovel-nose, the iridescent sharks, they grow a lot slower.
Mhm.
So people can obtain them for a lot longer. And then when I get them, I have a waiting list of people that want them. You know? So I call the public aquariums. They're like, okay, we'll take 3 or 4 red tails, 4 or 5 tiger shovel-nose, 4 iridescent sharks. And I'm like, well, I've got 9 Paku. They're like, we don't want any.
Well, you can take some of the Paku and we'll give you everybody else.
That's what I had to start doing was package, these free fish for these, and you know what I got out of that? I'm not going to say a name, but this really upset me. I'm working with this company and they open up public aquariums. They started going on my website and offering people money for the fish that they wanted, instead of taking the fish from me and some Paku. They're not offering me no money. They're taking my red tails, my tiger shovel-nose, my iridescents, my Terashuki cats or ripsaw cats, all for free. But because I started forcing, you got to take a couple Paku too. They stopped taking from us, and they're on our OFR Facebook page, and they're offering people money for their fish, and they will come pick up.
But
I'm like, you know what? You could have offered me money for the fish, and that I've given you for free for the last years. But you know what? Now we don't give them nothing, and I blocked them from our OFR page.
That's great.
Yeah.
Get rid of the nonsense and do things that make sense.
Do things right by, righteousness.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a new pet store, or I'm sorry, a new public aquarium, and you're opening up a South American display tank, 35,000 gallon tank, you want red tails, you want tiger shovelnose. Guess what else is a South American fish? Pacu. You know what I'm saying? That belongs in the same display tank.
That's the
It's-
second
it's-
time somebody's called you.
No, it's my Tracy alarms.
Oh,
They don't shut off for nothing. I have them on as like, super important. So Tracy's not here. So, but yeah. So, that's a public aquarium trying to be shady like that.
yeah, that's
That's ridiculous.
No bueno.
So out of the 9 public aquariums, we lost 1 now because we won't give them fish now. And they were getting them for
Should've taken
free,
the pocket.
and they're willing to pay for them through our I had this whole thing set up where we're going to New Jersey. I'm going to pick up these 3 fish, and this guy got on there and offered them money. And now the lady's like, well, I'll let you take the pacu, but the other fish are sold. What? And she goes, oh, well, it was this person here. And I looked up, and I'm like, sure enough, that was from our public aquarium people, That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So now they're willing to pay for the fish as long as they don't have to take the pacu. I was giving them 3 and 4 foot long catfish for their displays, and they'd rather pay for them so they don't have to take the pacu. That's crazy. They screwed themselves because now we're the biggest rescue in the United States. And, I have right now probably 19 tiger shovelnose, probably 15, ripsaw cats, maybe 12 red tails that I can give them that they're never going to get for free because they went on our website and started buying fish out from under us that we were getting for free.
On top of the Facebook no buy
Right.
live animals. I mean,
Yeah, they're bypassing all the rules. That was crazy.
Oh, it's 8:06.
Is it? All right, guys. It's 8 o'clock. I've had a great time with you guys tonight. Thank you, Hoover, for hanging out and helping us.
That's
Thank
no
you, Ryan, Bearded Fish Keeper. Check out his channel. He has helped us out tremendously over the years. Go check out his channel. He's a good guy.
I tried to video some when I'm over here. I haven't posted a video in a while. Hopefully,
Don't be lazy. Keep your channel going. You got to keep interest in it.
yeah, it's the whole storage on my phone. I was stupid.
Isn't that the word?
I was stupid and I bought the smaller phone.
Yes.
Not thinking about
Then you got to
it.
delete
Now I'm
this to be able to video.
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah. All right, guys.
All right,
We love
guys.
you. Stay
Stay
fishy.
Stay
You
fishy.
know,
Stay fishy, my
seriously,
friends.
we love hanging out with you guys. Thank you for being there with us. Thank you for supporting us. We love each and every one of you guys. And as always,
Always stay fishy, my friends.
I love it. You guys are so in key.
Good night, people.
Everybody have a nice night.
Yes.
Down there at the bottom there.
That's how I've made mistakes many times.
Yeah.